All right, everybody, welcome to Virtual Bourbon. My name is Steve Akley. We've got a great event today. We're going to be trying 3 barrel picks that I've done, and these are 3 of my absolute favorite. I've been lucky enough to be on some barrel committees with some great groups through the years. Total Wine typically brings me on the picks when they do them. The St. Louis group, by the way, not all of Total Wine, but and then I'm also lucky enough to go on Bourbon's Bistro ones from time to time when I'm in town and Jason's doing one of those. And then finally I do some with the New Orleans Bourbon Festival as well, besides the ones that we do with the ABV Network. So I've been lucky enough to do a lot of barrel picks through the years, but these are 3 of the absolute best. The order that we're going to be drinking these in are as follows. We're going to do the gooey butter is going to be first. We're going to follow the proof of these. So gooey butter is first from Kentucky Peerless. And then we've got the Lee W. Sinclair. And finally, we've got the Four Roses, the All-Star Crew pick. So these are all high proof. So we're going to be drinking some high octane stuff tonight, which is always fun for sure. So let me just tell you a little bit about this first pick. Why don't we go ahead and pour that while we talk about it. This is the gooey butter. For those of you that don't know, gooey butter is a confection that is really just, I think, only found in St. Louis. It was invented here. It's made with a lot of butter, maybe a little bit of flour, and a lot of powdered sugar. Very sweet bakery type of thing. And I was on this pick with Total Wine, and this is the empty bottle here. It is the infamous gooey butter. And this is just one of those that really hit the mark. As we're going through this, it was a nice day, and we were sitting in the office there, and we had a group of about 8 of us on the pick. So this is people from there's 4 Total Wine stores here in St. Louis, and we had people from all of them, and then myself. And we as we were going through these, as I tasted, we had 8 different samples. And as I tasted this one, I said, is anybody else getting gooey butter on this, which is that famous St. Louis connection? And everybody went through there, tasted it. And they once I said that, it was like, once someone figures it out, then everyone's got it. And everyone got excited about it. And when it came in, it literally sold out in 2 days. So the whole barrel sold out quickly. They actually got 2 barrels. We did one this was after the Blues won the Stanley Cup. So we had one that celebrated the Stanley Cup. And we had it wasn't a great name. I forget what we came up with. We wanted, like Stanley. There were a bunch of things they avoided. They said we couldn't do, we wanted Lord Stanley's Cup and all this kind of stuff. And they said we couldn't do any of that. So we did something like Q Gloria, which was the big song that they're playing, that 80s song Gloria, Cup Raised or something like that. And I think that one might actually, you could probably still find some bottles of that at Total Wine around on the shelves. So they both came in at the same time. This one just flew off the shelves again, just because it was such a good St. Louis connection. I think they also had a great marketing thing when it came in. They had gooey butter cake on the tasting table, and you could taste gooey butter cake and drink gooey butter cake, the rye whiskey. And like I said, it was pretty much unstoppable when it came in. So let's pick this one up. Again, Peerless always does barrel strength. So this one came in at 110.7. 110.7. So I always like to start out and talk a little bit about the nose. What are you guys getting on the nose on this one? Definitely some sweetness for sure.
There's that sugar cookie.
Sugar cookie.
Which I think goes along with your gooey butter cake.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know if it's confirmation bias, but it smells like powdered sugar to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right, let's give this one a taste and see what we think here. And again, now some of it starts to come together a little bit. On the taste, you get some of the butter there, the confection, the powdered sugar. Definitely tastes like, baked goods, buttery, but what else are you guys thinking as you drink this?
Getting some burnt toffee notes as well, which are
Okay.
really nice.
That's good. That's good. Justine, you took this to one of your club events, right? You had a bottle of this and you took it to the club events. How did that work out for you?
They almost drank all of it in one night. I actually had to ask for a second bottle.
Yes.
Actually, I had to beg for a second bottle.
Yes. So I bought a lot of them because I just love the pick and I love the story. And so I did send Justine a second bottle. So there was a no harm, no foul for her generosity. She was rewarded in kind for that. What else do you think? This is a, let's see here. This is 3 years, 1 month. So again, you're talking about a relatively young whiskey, lots of flavor profile to it. Very, very layered for sure. What are some, Bill, what do you think of this one?
Well, I've been drinking it for a while.
Yeah, so did you got a whole bottle of it, or?
I did.
Yeah. Okay.
It's good.
That's good. What did you get that? Was it through this or just I had sent you one?
Got it through you.
Yeah.
And then I got the VIP and got the
Lee W. Sinclair. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I enjoy it. It's good.
Cool. Paul?
I always come back to like a cherry pie or something like that at the end. After it's all said and done,
Mm-hmm.
there's like that sweet cherry at the end. Not maraschino cherry. It's a little sour there or something like that. It's not that real sweet stuff, but it is that like that darker fruit or something like that at the end.
Okay. That's good. How about you, Paul? What do you think on this one?
Yeah, so I got a lot of cinnamon on the nose, and that's not going away. I don't really pick it up on the palate, but it's still stuck in my head. So it kind of reminds me of like a coffee cake that has like melted butter on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's tough to compare gooey butter cake if you've never had it because it's definitely a one of a kind thing. So I don't know, Mike.
They're knockoff.
They do have a knockoff. Yes, they sell some in gas stations. It's a kind of a knockoff. Bill sent me a photo of it the other day. I've seen it before. I forget what they call it, but it's
Gooey butter cake.
Gooey butter cake. I think they sell it in, at least they used to for a while, in Walgreens too, like another knockoff of it.
Yeah, it could be.
So under their like private label brand. So it's out there a little bit, but all the stuff we do gets ultimately ripped off. St. Louis is the start of everything. We just need to acknowledge that. Mike, gooey butter cake. Do you guys get it on the west side of the state, man?
We do not. I'm sure there's a hard line that stops it from coming over here.
Yes. Someone's trying to take it there, and
I think
it's illegal.
If you pronounce it Missouri, I think you get gooey butter cake, and if you say Missouri, you don't get it.
No,
we
say Missouri here. I want to clarify something. In St. Louis, we say Missouri. In Kansas City, they say Missouri. Everywhere else, they say Missouri, which I don't even understand. What do you call someone from Missouri? Even those people call them Missourians. So it's Missouri, not Missouri. So many people will be like, I'd never elect someone who said Missouri on. It's like a thing. I mean,
well, they have a point.
Yeah.
No, I've never had the gooey butter cake, but whoever said the maple note, I'm originally from Iowa, so we would get some regional candies. There's out of Minnesota, there was a nut goodie that was like maple and chocolate and nougat and stuff, and I get a little bit of that.
Okay. Shane, help me out here. What do you got?
I'm still waiting on my sample, so I'm drinking my 1915 that I made and just enjoying the show.
You didn't get the samples?
No, I haven't got them yet. I think I was a late entry, and that's probably why. Towards the end, so
I don't know.
I'll let you know if they don't come in.
All right, the mail definitely sucks these days.
Yeah.
We've got that one guy in Alaska, and I was up at the post office last night. I do all the postal stuff I do after hours because I got so many of them. I don't want to stand there in line, so I do it at the machine. And we got the guy in Alaska, and it literally came up on the screen, no delivery time available. It'll just follow it on tracking, and it'll get delivered. Basically, saying it'll get delivered when it gets delivered. So, yeah. Rob, how about you, man? You got your samples?
I do. I did not get yours, Shane. I got my own. I promise. Yeah, I would sort of echo what a lot of the people have said so far. A lot of burnt sugar, for sure, and then just general sort of baking spices. I am from Cleveland, so I've never had gooey butter cake, but I certainly get the confection and sort of that bakery feel to it. And it certainly feels much more layered than you would anticipate for a 3-year-old. Whiskey. It's very nice.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah. How about you, Patrick?
Yeah, I get a lot of the sweet notes that everyone's talking about, but I also get like a nice. I mean, it is a rye, right? I get a really nice smooth rye spice. It kind of is a nice counterbalance to all the sweetness that's in there as well.
Right. Nate Mace, what do you think? I know you're more of a good bad. Do you like this one or not?
No, it's really good. And for 110.7 proof, it's actually a lot smoother than I expected. A lot more pleasant. Not too abrasive or anything. So I think it's good. This is one of the good ones.
This is a good one. Okay. All right. Joe, I want to ask you too. What do you think?
Yeah, I like it. I don't know that I have a lot to add. It's interesting because I was just thinking I don't get a lot of rye flavor on this one.
I think that's Barry there. All right, last one I'm going to ask before we move on to our next one. Casey, what do you think of this one?
I really enjoy the sweetness. It definitely has that butter cake notes. Like I said, it's got kind of that burnt toffee underlayer to it that's quite pleasant. Not quite burnt, but maybe a toasted toffee. Really smooth. I'm already feeling it, really, frankly. That fruit is kind of getting to me already, and I've just started, so maybe I shouldn't have skipped dinner.
Okay. All right. Nick Mace, what do you think?
Find the mute button here for a second. Yeah, I don't think I have much to add that hasn't already been said. I get the same sweetness. I like it a lot more than I like gooey butter cake. So
that's good.
Which is just I've only had it one time. My wife is from St. Louis and she made it once, and it's a lot of sugar and butter.
It is.
Pretty much just that.
It would be interesting to have them together. I would like to. Yeah. It's a weird confection because it's hard to make because it's easy to dry out. So I'm not going to say anything about your wife's cooking. It was probably perfect, and you're just not a fan of it. I don't know, but I do know we used to have someone who always tried to make them at work and say there's a guy. I was like, I would hate when she'd bring them in because they were not good. But yeah, it's just tough to make. Yeah, you got to find the right bakery for sure.
I mean, I'm inclined to dislike anything from St. Louis, so that's probably part of it.
At least it's not the St. Louis pizza pick. Now that would be we'd have some problems with that one. No. Is it even pizza?
It's pizza. It's the only pizza. St. Louis is the best.
It's not even real cheese. You made up a cheese.
We made crackers and Cheese Whiz.
It's not Cheese Whiz. It's not Cheese Whiz. All right, let's pour the next one, the Lee W. Sinclair, and we'll talk about it a little bit here first. So this second one by chance also happens to be Total Wine. So went up there, and this, boy, you go up to a day with Alan Bishop, better bring a designated driver because he literally, I don't know how much whiskey we tried that day. We drilled into barrels. We tried experiments. He had ones lined out that were designated to be ones that we could possibly buy, and then he had other ones. And then they bring the drill in. They're like, "What else do you want to try? You just want to play a little barrel roulette and pick a barrel and we'll try it." So we ended up spending the whole day there. This one was one that we were, just it was unbelievable. So this Lee W. Sinclair, and of course they're at the age where they're at, past the bottle and bond age. So this stuff's 4 years old. It's not bottle and bond because it's barrel strength. Of course, bottle and bond has to be 100 proof, but it is 4 years old, which is pretty cool from a craft distillery, and it comes in at 112.2 proof. So and their packaging there, by the way, I don't know if you guys have seen what they've got going on, but it's really nice. So they do a great job at Spirits of French Lick. This one came in and also was, this went out in a couple days, but it basically sold out of one store. So again, I told you there's 4 stores. For the most part, when you're talking a barrel pick, there's 3 in Missouri, there's 1 in Illinois. So it's going to go to one side of the river or the other. When the Illinois store buys it, they have to buy the whole barrel. When they get it in Missouri, they split it up between the 3 stores. This one ended up selling in about 3 days, but it was all through one store. So they got all of their allocation in Brentwood. They've got a guy who does a great job of explaining it. He was part of the pick. His name's Scott. He sold it all out that they had at Brentwood. Then they pulled in from the other stores more. He sold all that, and then they brought in the rest of it, and he sold through all of that too. So the guy's like a superstar for them. Let's give this one a nose. This is an unnamed pick, so this one doesn't have like gooey butter cake or anything like that. It's just Lee W. Sinclair. Gosh darn. It almost smells like you get some grapes, like a wine. You'd think that this might be finished or something, but it is not. It's just not a finished whiskey. But I'm getting some of that kind of stuff. Also, maybe some chocolate there. What do you guys get on the nose on this one?
You're saying it's not finished? It smells like it's got American oak in it. It's got a nice spicy sandalwood kind of note to it.
It's not finished. It's just a 4-grain bourbon. So not finished or anything like that. Finishing is not something Alan's into, though he famously did a series of 2 barrels that he sold this year. I don't know, he claims it was by mistake or something somebody wanted, and then they didn't want it, so they sold it through the gift shop, called it Unpretentious, and he had some fun with that. So, but it definitely has a nose of being a finished product. I think so.
Agreed.
Let's give it a taste and see what we think here on the taste. Oh, man. Cognac nose, I like that.
That grape note is really coming through for me on the palate.
Yeah.
Makes me think of like back in my baseball days, like grape big league chew.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get a lot of cinnamon, little black licorice. It's honestly a little reminiscent of like Willet pot still to me.
Oh, that's not a compliment. Ouch.
Guess it depends who you ask, but
I know it has a cult like following, but man, I am not a fan of that pot still. I do have one here though. The big boy.
Pull that out for Alan Bishop Day next year.
Yes. Yeah, I'm not going to tell him he was compared to pot still. But it's a fine product. Fine product. You know they don't make that though, right? They should. Why don't they make their own stuff? And they've got the still. They've got the still right in the center of the warehouse. They don't make their own pot still. I don't understand. Well, it's also kind of a cult. I don't know, in general. I'm always fascinated by the ones that people are just go crazy for. And I don't know. Seems like Alan's getting kind of there. He's definitely getting quite a following. Raisin spice cake. Yeah, I could see that. All that's there for sure. This one is definitely complex. There's sweet notes at the front. Yields to a little savory in there too, which is interesting.
Just as
Now you
it's
said
leaking out in one area of the mouth, it starts picking back up in another area of the mouth.
Mm-hmm. I agree. It's just one of those that that does that. So you don't get that every time, but yeah.
Now you said it's 4-grain bourbon, but is the mash bill disclosed on this one?
Let's see if he says anything on here. Does not say it on the label. It is corn, wheat, oats, and barley, but I do not have percentages. I could text Alan real quick, of course, and find out. Let me see if he'll answer. He's usually pretty good about this stuff. Let's see. Let's test him. Alan? Mash bill on Lee W. Sinclair. Because they're pretty transparent about this stuff. Let's see what he says. Okay, that's texted. What else do we think?
Yeah, I get this creamy note. It's almost like a grape jelly with a brie cheese or something like that. I keep on going with that with like a cracker. It's like it's just breaking it down. And I like what Bill said exactly. You just wait for it. It just pops up in different parts of the palate. It kind of pulls forward first, and then it just sits there. What a great. It's excellent. And the 112 proof lets it sit around perfectly without that true burn. You don't get that true hug that you get in the middle of your chest, and it just kind of fades and does its thing. It just unpacks the grains.
This bottle, $42. $42 for 112.2 proof bourbon. That's an incredible deal. Incredible deal for what you get here. I think it's so complex that even drink to drink seems to change because there's so much there. I don't think you can pick it up on a single drink. So you take the next drink and you might get a couple of different things. So it's worth revisiting. Okay, here we go. 60 corn, 17 wheat, 13 oat, and 10, here might be the secret sauce here, 10 caramel malt. That's definitely unique. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. So,
I was worried about Alan today. I'm glad he texted back.
What did he have going on today?
He saw his Facebook post, the whole exchange. You could just keep on going and going and going. It was quite entertaining.
Oh gosh.
Some guy hit the button and it started a snowball.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. He definitely put some money in Alan's jukebox.
Yeah. Alan famously, his social media presence is interesting for sure.
Yes.
So to say the
quite
least.
the brand.
Yes, he is. He is.
Yeah.
So okay. You never know what you're going to get. So, and then he'll come on our shows. This is what I hate. We get all this fun, fire and brimstone, Alan Bishop online and all that. And they'll come on our shows and be like, I'm taking it easy now. I'm just drinking coffee.
Drinking coffee. You son of a bitch.
I mean, let's wind you up and let you go, man. This is what we want to do.
That's not what we have you on for.
Exactly. So I always wonder if it's court ordered or anything when he does that, but I don't know.
From the spouse, maybe.
Could be. Kent, what do you think of this one, man? You're a big Alan Bishop fan. What do you think of this particular offering, though?
Well, I drink a lot of. In fact, I have this bottle. I've had a couple of this exact bottle, and whenever I drink Lee W. Sinclair, I mean the oats are just, to me, just jump right out, and followed really quickly by that unique flavor that he called, or that is the caramel malt. It has its own little distinct sweetness to it. And so I have a hard time getting past that to do my sensory stuff. And you said grapes, I was like, oh yeah, I mean, there's a floral right there on the very front. And I like that. So I got two boys on here right now with me. And one thing that this always reminds me of, all the Lee W. Sinclairs, when they were babies, we had the Gerber Gold dry cereal that we fed them, which was oat stuff. This tastes like that.
Wait a minute. They were eating it or you were?
Do not take that bad. I thought the Gerber baby food was really good stuff. And it just reminds me of that. It always has, always will.
All right. Nate, what did you think of that Gerber baby food back in the day?
Well, I was a really fat baby, so apparently I really liked it.
You liked it. You were into it. Okay.
Also liked it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Nick, how about you, man? What do you think of this one?
I was the firstborn, so I imagine my mom made her own baby food, so I don't recall. I really like this one. I think it kind of tastes different each time I've taken a sip. I think it would be, really good. I think maybe someone mentioned it. Actually, I think maybe Nate sent it to me in a text. It would be really good with like a dark chocolate or something. It reminds like some of the darker wine, almost like a Pinot Noir or something. I kind of wish I had a spread here. I had to try some different foods with it, but I really like it. It's really good.
That's good.
This is a really good one to eat cranberries with, and dark chocolate. Just a lot of different dried fruits. This is one that really jumps around a lot of different flavors when you start combining it with some of those foods. But it's again why it's one of my favorites.
Yeah. There's just enough hint of savory in there. It might go good even with something like a steak. I kind of get like a salt and pepper taste in there. I mean, there's a lot going on there, man. So Alan Bishop, social media stuff aside, Alan Bishop is amazing at what he does. That's for sure. And also the busiest guy in the business. He's doing something every night, it seems. Every night he's got something going on. So incredible story. Patrick, what do you think of this one?
I think it was Justine in the chat. Raisin spice cake is really vibing. I'm vibing with that note.
Okay.
That's very much what I'm getting.
Yeah. The proof on it seems perfect. I mean, that's to that point where it's enjoyable to drink, not overly proofed. It's a sipper at that proof for sure. All right, last one we're gonna pour, and then we'll talk about it, is the all-star pick from Bourbon's Bistro. So this is an interesting one. This is the all-star crew. So this was myself and Jason. We had Mike Veach on this one. We had from the KDA, we had Jill Hawkins. So we had all people from, big time in the bourbon industry that that were on this pick. And when you do a pick with Jason, it's great because he really does it right. You go to his place for breakfast, and he makes it. The restaurant's closed. He makes breakfast, and then you get in a bus. He charters a bus, and you take it down to the distillery, and he does a little gambling on the boat on the bus ride too. So be prepared to bring a few bucks. This is autographed by Jason Bronner. I didn't even realize that. But it's his relationship with Four Roses is really unique because he is the first bar to ever do a barrel pick with Four Roses. So he's been in business he's going to be 16 years coming up in 2021, and first bar to ever have bourbon in its name. Not the first whiskey bar, but the first bourbon bar focused on bourbon. And he just has, a very unique approach to this. And so many of the things that we take for granted now with a bourbon bar, he, of course, was doing these from the start. Bourbon dinners, something that many bourbon bars do these days. He was doing those, 15, 16 years ago. Barrel picks was something that he wanted to get into right away. It wasn't even something that the distilleries were doing. He started calling distilleries. And like I said, he did the first bar to ever do and this is confirmed. I was at Four Roses when they looked this up, and they told him that. So he was the second barrel pick that was ever done there. The first one was by Party Source, Jay Erzman, if you know Jay from New Riff now, but back when he worked at Party Source with Kent, Ken Lewis. I mean, the two of them were the first one to ever buy a barrel, and then Jason was the second one. But like I said, first on premise to do so. And you know, they think a lot of him there. I think he's done at that time. I think this All-Star one was the 25th one that he's done, and he's done several since then. I know he had his 15th anniversary pick was the big one in 2020. So very very well respected in the world of bourbon, and we're trying to get him into the Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Fame. We'll see if we're successful. We've been doing a big PR campaign, and it did go to the president of the KDA last year, and I think he'll get in, but they just didn't have Hall of Fame last year, so they canceled it with COVID. So like everything else got canceled. So all right, let's check out this whiskey, see what we think. On the nose,
it's like peppermint.
Peppermint.
Let's see, what's the yeast strain on this one? Is it OESB?
Let's see here.
Seems like it's more floral.
This is OESK.
OESK?
10 years, 4 months. 10 years, 4 months. Comes in at 117 proof. So unlike most folks, Jason loves his picks have always come in at barrel strength, and I don't think that that was always the case. Yeah, for a while, it was tough to find Four Roses barrel strength. Now it's kind of it's the standard for bourbon fans, but he's always been that way. So, like I said, he's always one step ahead of what everybody else has been doing in the bourbon business. What else do you guys get on the nose on this one?
I can't tell you what it is, but I'm getting something that's mildly savory.
Mildly savory, okay. Man, there's something there.
I'll go with something that it jumped out with me on the nose, and then I tasted it. Sorry, I cheated.
Okay, you cheated a little bit. Okay, that's fine.
So so there's the caramel, but it's not just a caramel; it's a chocolate caramel, which took me right to Rolos. This tastes like Rolos to me.
Rolos,
Smells
okay.
like Rolos, tastes like Rolos.
Rolos. All right. Anybody else get Rolos? Chocolate caramel.
Yeah, I'll check into chocolate caramel. I
Okay.
I don't know about Rolos particularly because I haven't had one in a million years. But I'll check into chocolate caramel.
Okay. All right. Let's give this a taste.
Well, to be fair, I hadn't had Gerber's baby food in years either. About 30. Just FYI.
You remember those sleepless nights, you know, they come back fast.
I'll tell you what goes away fast is your tolerance for children in restaurants. When you've got your own, you can tolerate them. When your kid gets a little bit older and is well behaved in the restaurant, you're like, shut that kid up. I don't know. That's how I am, at least. Raisin chocolate caramel, not quite so sweet as a Rolo, but on that path, I think it sounds like you could see that. I don't know. Now that Ken said that, I'm definitely getting chocolate there for sure. I don't know. I'm kind of getting chocolate covered cherry for mine.
Don't you just really hate that power of suggestion? Whenever somebody says something, then everybody, it really doesn't matter if it's there and you really smell it or not. When
Right.
somebody says something, there it is.
All right, I'm going to throw out a weird one, and we're going to see. A little, I don't know, grilled, flamed coconut? Does anyone else get some of that?
Almost like that toasted coconut on the top of a coconut cream.
That's what I'm trying to say, toasted coconut.
Yep.
Toasted coconut.
Toasted coconut, then a coconut cream pie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So mother used to make an Italian cream cake, and this is what reminds me of it. And it had I cannot remember what the coconut was mixed in with on the top, but it was a toasted coconut mixed in with something else on top of this. It reminds me quite a bit of that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely what I'm getting. It's interesting. Rob, how about you? You getting any of that, or what are you getting? What's your experience here?
Getting more traditional notes myself. I mean,
Okay.
I'm getting sort of what I typically get from this strain from Four Roses. I'm enjoying it, but I'm not getting some of these exotic fruits that you guys are getting. Nonetheless, I'm enjoying it.
Yes. Yeah, 117 is nice for sure on this one. Joe, how about you, man?
What's this thing in St. Louis called gooey butter cake? Have you ever heard of it?
Yes.
No,
You think it's gooey butter cake?
I'm just I mean, maybe mildly significant. No, I'm really enjoying it. I mean, there aren't many Four Roses picks I haven't enjoyed.
This is true. Four Roses is.
And I've never had this particular yeast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Paul, how about you? You're a fan of Four Roses. What do you think?
I get a lot. I mean, obviously the chocolate everybody's getting, but I get it like chocolate cherry and a little bit of coffee.
Mm-hmm.
It's got that drying bitterness at the end that I get from like the coffee flavor.
Okay.
Which I feel like I get from a lot of Four Roses picks for some reason, but it's really good. I pick up a dark fruit or a cherry in there. It's nice. It goes well with the chocolate that hits you right up front.
Right. Patrick, welcome back. What do you think on this one? You with us, Patrick?
Yeah, my computer went out on me, so on the phone now.
Okay. All right. So yeah, we're on the All-Star pick. I don't know where you cut out at, but
Just a couple minutes ago. Yeah, I'm
okay.
on that one as well.
Okay. What are your thoughts on this one?
I agree with all. I know we were talking about chocolate notes when I cut out. I also get like a tart jam note on the back end, on the finish.
Mm-hmm.
I think this one drinks the most like its proof out of the three. I know we're climbing up the ladder here, but
yeah. Casey, how about you, man?
You know, I want to like this, but there's a note in there that's really kind of turning me off. I think it's more like almond extract kind of note, and I think that's just me personally not liking that particular flavor note. It's really on the back end, and it kind of sits on the tongue right on the finish.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, I like the complexity of flavor. But yeah, I mean, I'm leaning more towards the Lee Sinclair and the gooey butter cake is my preferred choices.
Yeah. All right, Mike.
Second everyone else's, and I'm trying to remember all the things in that Italian cream cake. Which is probably way better than gooey butter. I don't know, but
well, no, of course not. Can't be. It's not possible. So, Nick, what do you think?
That's me. I forgot. I agree with all the chat. There's something really familiar about this, and I've not been able to place it yet. And I thought when you mentioned the toasted coconut, I thought that was close, but it's not it. There's something, when you taste something, you're like, oh, I know something really, really familiar. Like I know what this is, and it's bothering me. I've been trying to eat some chips to like clean my palate, but like there's something.
It's Gerber baby food.
Maybe. I'm gonna need a flavor. You need to be more specific.
All right, Nate, how about you, man?
Well, I'm probably not the person to ask. Whenever I first nosed it, I thought I smelled like some freshly cut ginger, but then I tasted it, and that's not what I smelled anymore. So I don't even know. I definitely get like the chocolatey caramely, but this is out of the three, I would rank this number 2.
Number 2. Okay. All right. Well, we got to have a little fun here and see what the favorite of the night is. So I'm going to go around the horn, just the order that it happens to be on my computer screen here. So that means Kent Mace, you are first. What is your favorite one out of these 3?
My favorite would be Lee W. Sinclair because I'm biased in every kind of way. The one that I was surprised most about would be the Four Roses.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Surprise. All right. Tim.
I'm with Kent. The Lee W. Sinclair, I think, is clearly leaps and bounds above the other one, just how deep it is. I'm also with the Four Roses next because I like that extra heat and just let it. It's got the Browner punch. You know exactly you're drinking a Browner pick when you drink one of those.
Yeah, true.
With that high proof, you know.
True. He would have it no other way. All right, Mike.
I'd have to say Lee Sinclair and then Four Roses.
Okay.
And then the gooey butter.
Justine, what's your favorite?
I am going to go in the order that we tasted them.
Okay. All right. Rob?
Going gooey butter. That's my number 1.
All right, man.
I thought Sinclair was interesting, and it had my brain in a little bit of a pretzel because it was so complex, but I just couldn't put a finger on it. I appreciate it, but my palate leans more towards the gooey butter.
Okay. Casey?
So flavor-wise, I like the gooey butter the best, but I'm going to give my vote to the Lee Sinclair because it's so versatile. I've never had a bourbon that's been, or at least I want to say like a top-notch bourbon that has been so versatile. I think you can do so much with it and taste different every time you taste it. So I'm going to go Lee Sinclair.
It is definitely
definitely
complex. Yeah, definitely complex for sure. Paul, you're next, man.
Lee Sinclair, gooey butter cake, Four Roses.
Okay. All right. Nick?
I'm going to do the exact opposite of that. I'm going to say the Four Roses, the Lee Sinclair, and the gooey butter cake.
Okay.
I think the Sinclair is, it is very complex, but I think I've had a couple of just back and forth, and I think the Four Roses, it's more consistently my favorite.
All right. Fair enough. Nate?
I like the Peerless the best, the gooey butter cake.
Excellent. All right. Mr. Bill? Oh, you're on mute.
I would go with the Lee W. Sinclair, Four Roses, and then Peerless.
Okay. Patrick?
I am going to go in the order we tasted them as well. So my vote is for Peerless.
All right. Carrie?
I'm going to go in the order that we tasted as well.
Excellent. All right. This sets up a very interesting one here from Joe. Joe, what's your favorite?
For me, it's the gooey butter. I acknowledge it's maybe not as complex as the other two, but it's unique. Something I haven't had before. And just what is there is really solid, and I really enjoy the flavor.
Excellent. So here's where we're at. It comes down to this. I am only used in the event of a tie. Gooey butter cake, Lee W. Sinclair, or Four Roses. I have to say that my all-time favorite pick that I've ever done is gooey butter cake. Gooey butter cake wins it.
My wife said that she's going to make one for me just so that I can get that real experience.
Okay. Save a little bit of this. Then if you can, if you haven't drank it, save a little bit. And okay, that's good. That's perfect. Then when she makes it, give it a try and see what you think. Do a side by side. And I think you'll be amazed. So yeah.
I'm really happy that the gooey butter cake won, because that leaves more Lee W. Sinclair for me.
Bingo.
I don't know what that means because they're all sold out. I can't get any of these, but yeah. Well, That's fair enough.
There's always more, Steve. There's always more.
There's always, I do have.
Just gotta know where to.
I've got one bottle of Lee W. Sinclair left. I've got probably 4 bottles of gooey butter. I have no more All Stars. That's it for that one. But I only had 2 bottles of that to begin with, so that did it for that one. But it's cool. So yeah, I like doing the picks. Picks are fun. I don't know if ever who on here hasn't done a barrel pick yet. Mr. Bill, Tim, Casey, Shane, Mike, Kent. You've never done one, Kent? Come on.
Nope.
Man.
I live in Oklahoma.
Yeah, but you go to Kentucky. You drive everywhere. You're the guy who's like, where you want to go? You'll call me and be like, yeah, you want to go to Kentucky today? It's 10 hours. I'll get there. I'll see you there tomorrow. So yeah, that doesn't really factor in. I live in St. Louis. I don't do really a couple picks here, but all these are in Kentucky.
There's a couple of distilleries in Oklahoma, which I've known this, but it just popped in my head like a week ago. I've never been to any of the distilleries in Oklahoma. What's up with that?
Why wouldn't you go there? Yeah. What are the name of these places? I can't say I know an Oklahoma distillery, so that's usually a bad start. Usually,
there's one that
they could be.
It's called Scissortail. Is about 5 miles from my house.
Okay.
And it's not bad. I mean, it's not anything that we've been drinking tonight, but it's not bad. And then there's Prairie that's up in Guthrie, which is supposed to be really good. I don't know that I've ever even had it. So
yeah. Okay.
And then there's several in Tulsa, which I don't know anything.
If you raised your hand, you haven't done a barrel pick, and you want to come to St. Louis in January, beautiful time to be here. We're going to do a pick at Adam Stump's place. Just reach out to me if you're interested, and we'll work on the date. And you're not committed to it. Obviously, I'll have to come up with the date with Adam, and if you're interested, shoot me a DM or something, or a text if you got my text, and I'll shoot you the date when we've got it. And if you can make it, you're invited to come on and try to be on your first barrel pick. So, and Stump does a great job. Makes some hella great whiskey. So definitely worth doing. So that's going to be our next ABV Network barrel pick. So I was going to do Wood Hat, but talked to Adam, and he said he could sell me one again. I don't know. It's just he is in our group. He is the king. So. And I like what he does. He does the 30, at least the ones that are coming up now that are available are 30 gallons. And so you're talking about 120 bottles, which is good for our group. When you get into the larger, like Alan Bishop's got all 53 gallon barrels. So you're talking, a couple hundred bottles, and that's just a little bit too much for us. I think we found. So, so that's the case there. I got to touch.
How many gallons how many bottles is left in the barrel that we're looking at Lenny's?
At which one?
Lenny's.
Oh, at Lenny's? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea how full that barrel is. So
Maybe you should quit telling people about that.
This is not my fault. Yeah. I didn't know I was getting it. I'd already talked about it. So yeah. So yes, Bill and I are going to make a run this spring to Lenny's place in Buena Vista, Colorado. So that's the plan. We'll
let me know. I'll meet you there. It's
okay.
About the same distance.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna go. He's got a barrel, his favorite barrel at the distillery that he's not interested in selling to anybody, so he just drinks out of it. But he said he'd sell it to us, so we're gonna buy that barrel, and we've already tried it. It's fantastic. So.
We could swing by Leopold's after that.
Sure. Like hanging out at Leopold. Absolutely.
It doesn't give him up on the cork pop contest, does it? That's a favorite part of the show is the Lenny Fizzle.
The Lenny Fizzle. Yeah, but he always talks it up too. So
exactly.
Yeah. So despite the fact how bad his cork pops are, he talks it up like it's good. So that's interesting. So, Paul, you may come in for that.
Yeah, I'd love to. I've never done one except virtually with you guys. So.
All right, man. Yeah, dude, you can stay at our house, man. we have accommodations, so we'll set you up, brother.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Heck yeah. So yeah, I'll start working on that date, and we can start making some plans. So like I said, if anyone else is interested, love to have you, and that'd be cool. So, and I think someone coming in for their first pick would definitely make it. So I always hate, we do some contests, and I don't know what to do with the barrel picks. You know, who do you invite? Because everyone says they want to go, and then we'll do like a contest. And then what I hate is we'll get 8 people, and 4 of them then are saying they're going to go, and then the day of say I can't make it. It's like, shit, people want to do this. Don't bail out on us. So yeah, but you guys would.
If you give me a day's notice, I'll be a fill-in.
Well, yeah, you can come. You don't have to be a fill-in.
Well, I'll come to that one, but on any of the ones.
Oh, on any of them. Okay. See, here's the guy. Here's the guy who's like, I live in Oklahoma. I can't do this. No, he's willing to drive anywhere for.
Have Dodge will drive.
Exactly. It's the same philosophy I've got. I like a good road trip, and I know a place you can download a lot of stuff to listen to while you're driving. So.
Hey, Kent, don't brag too much on Dodges. My Dodge has been in the shop for the second time in about 4 weeks. So
what color is it?
What color is it? That's the key.
If it's yellow, it's your fault. It's not the Dodge. If it's not yellow, it's your fault because you should have a yellow one.
I'm getting rid of this thing and get me something newer, something better.
Something better. Better technology. All right. Well, I'm going to stop the recording. We'll say goodbye to our folks that can't make this, but they're going to be watching it after the fact. And I'll stick around for as long as you guys like, just to chat with whatever we want to talk about, from the world of bourbon, the ABV Network, or just whatever's going on in the world today.